Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we're going to have a really special episode and talk about Apple's latest announcements. If you don't know, Apple just announced a whole slew of products from iPhones, Apple Watches, and today I'm joining by my good host and good friend, Hanley, goes by Vision Pro Gaming Guy. And so today, we're going to be talking about a lot about this. And so, hey, Hanley, how's it going?
Hey, Ray, how's it going? Thanks for having me with you today.
Yeah, so today what we have going on is that Apple has just made all these product announcements from the Apple Watch, new Series 10, also the iPhone 16 Pro, and then Pro Max sizes, and as well as new AirPods and AirPods Maxes for the head and so forth. And for me, I'm looking at, replacing and updating all of my different devices, even though I just got some stuff just last year. And so I thought we'd just take this time to go over this during the live stream. And if you have any questions, it's totally interactive. And I thought this would be a chance for all of us to catch up. Hanley and myself both used to work at Apple. I used to work at Apple for over about a decade. And I think Hanley used to work there as an engineering manager. And we just have a lot of interesting tech insights. We've been Apple enthusiasts for a very long time, pretty much all of our lives. And it'd just be really fun to share with you on the stream and kind of go along and see is this something that even if you're considering picking up any Apple products, just let us know right in the comments and stuff. So it'd be kind of fun to go together. And so the first thing that was kind of on the docket today that I saw announced, and I'm just kind of using Marquez Brownlee because he did such a good job of covering the event, was the new Apple Watch Series 10. And so with the Apple Watch Series 10, it's basically like there are some brand new colors, and it's actually a little bit thinner, which is really gorgeous. And this is actually a shot from inside the Steve Jobs Theater, which Apple Marquez Brownlee was actually able to attend. And so I thought, we're kind of living vicariously through Marquez Brownlee as he kind of talks about these types of things. So look at the size difference that comes up here. So you have a bigger display, like better viewing angles and stuff, and also the new colors. And
They said the screen on this one's even bigger than the Apple Watch Ultra.
Wow. So just the regular Apple Watch Series 10 is already that much bigger. Dang, this is gorgeous. Oh, look at the way, this is from Apple's website, and like the way that they do their animations and everything is so clean.
Yeah.
So if we just take a look at the new Series 10, we can take a look at their colors. So it starts at $399, and it looks like it's just coming in, and just the way that the display works here. And then they have some health features, which I thought was interesting. One of the health features that they talked about was about being able to detect sleep apnea. And I thought, oh man, that's really, really cool. There's a whole slew of people who don't even know they have this problem. And they said, I think it was 80% of the people don't even realize that they have this. And so just by wearing it over a month or so, it'd be able to detect some irregularities using the machine learning on device. And I think
they said, I think they said every 30 days, it'll analyze the data and let you know if it detects oddity.
Oh man, that's so incredible that they're able to do that. I think that's such a cool key feature. Just like anything else has depth sensors as well. And the thing I also liked was the fast charging. So it looks like the fast charging thing is going to be giving you like 80% battery life pretty much in like 30 minutes, like right away. So that's super cool. And it's totally new to the Apple Watch. It's thinner. And I think they also said, so the stainless steel version is 20% lighter, if I kind of remember correctly. And they have some new watch faces, right?
The thinness is 10% thinner, I believe. And that's might be a really big deal. And we'll find out when we're able to go in the stores and put our hands on it, right? That's one thing Apple's really good at is that when you actually touch it, it feels sexy and feels really different than the previous model.
I like these colors. Oh, they're so good. And so what's interesting for me is that the watch bands did not appear to change, because that was also some rumors that were going around the neighborhood, was that it's possible that some of the watch bands sizes may have changed, but that looks like it's still pretty much, you can still clip in your old bands from what I could tell. I mean, we haven't had a hands-on on this, so we have no clue. And this is just me assuming or making these assumptions, because you can actually see here in the slider as we're going across.
Whoa, look at that.
Yeah. So like they're comparing
how much thinner it is.
The thinness. Yeah. So you can see even like the way that it's made. So it's taking off that top part. And so it may even feel like a lighter watch. Even the crown looks like it's actually smaller in size, which is interesting.
Yeah. They said they had to re-engineer the crown.
Oof, wow, that's gorgeous. That is so gorgeous. And then they're showing actually screen size from like left to right, which I find extremely... So this is the Series 3 on the left, and then Series 10. And so I myself actually have an Apple Watch Ultra. And so we're going to be going into that because that one's really cool too. They also got some updates. Gosh, this is, by the way, this is just Apple's straight up website. I'm just scrolling through it and it's just absolutely gorgeous. They have some new Hermes faces, which are pretty fun. And then obviously the gold colors, which are really cool. And if you're not aware, when you move the watch face around, this actual face will shimmer. And so I just love the extra attention to details that Apple does for all these different types of finishes to match all the
Always
different
on
watches.
display this year will update every second as opposed to every
Once every minute.
minute.
Yes.
Yeah, so that means even when you're not looking at it and it's just in the always display mode, you'll still see the second hands moving.
Oh
So
man, that's
for other people looking at you, your watch will feel more alive, I guess.
yeah. So there's a question from the audience saying, do we know if the Apple Neural Engine was updated for the new Apple Watch? I haven't seen many technical details, but I think it was, right? I would love to see if we can double check that. That'd be kind of cool.
S10. I mean, I assume it's using the latest cores. It's a new S10 chip, right?
Yeah.
So it's probably using the new core design. They didn't talk much about the difference in power for the neural engine for watch, though.
Yeah, yeah. Also doing a quick sound check online. So if you guys are listening, just go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you're able to hear Hanley. If not, then I may have to change the audio routing. Just doing a quick double check on that, and just appreciate everyone else everyone who's been able to tune in, and also see if we can get this around socials. We're totally streaming live today across X, across YouTube, and also across Twitch. So if you're had a chance to tune in, go ahead and if you like find one better than the other, I would definitely say go ahead and do that type of thing. So, and because it's a live stream, which is really nice, you can just drop into the comments and we'll feature you. And the question that we're going to ask is like, are you ready to upgrade today? And have you considered or already purchased something? I already made my purchases, so I'll tell you a little bit later in the stream and stuff. So maybe if anyone's listening, definitely kind of give you a heads up there. So that's a really good question there as far as like the Apple Neural Engine that people are wondering about. I imagine it is updated, given that it now detects sleep apnea and various things, but it would be good to know. So I think this is just Apple Watch Series 10 that was kind of like the update. Like the biggest thing was basically the redesign. It's obviously bigger, it's thinner, it's a little bit lighter, and the display updates are really, really nice. So the fact that it updates every second, and that's actually an extreme big deal. I would say that just kind of like some inside baseball here is whenever these products turn on the display, all those LED lights suck up so much energy. And that's probably like the biggest battery drain for most devices, just having a display. If you ever look in the power settings on your iPhone, it'll actually tell you, hey, your display brightness is really high. You may consider turning it down to save you additional battery life. And so the fact that they're able to update the display every second, and still, I don't think they even mentioned a change in their battery life, whether it got worse or better. Incredible, right? And people already have more than 18 hours of battery life on these watches. People have gone, days without charging. And even better now that you have 30 minutes, like you could just literally put it on a charging puck, go take a shower, and do some stuff in the morning. And then you have your watch that can go on for another couple of days. I think that's a pretty big deal there.
That's exactly right. I remember the earlier first few series, I had to charge overnight while I was sleeping.
Yes.
And you're totally right. Now with the modern abilities, I wear it all day long, and then when I go shower or go brush my teeth or something, then I'll charge it for a little bit, and that's enough.
Yeah, that's really cool. And the next thing I wanted to take a look at was the Apple Watch, the Ultra 2. So with Ultra 2 is really, really gorgeous. Oh my God. So the Ultra 2 now has this beautiful like black color. It is just amazing with this new Milanese loop. And so the Milanese loop is a little bit different. So it's like a little bit sturdier, and it's the brightest display ever with 3,000 nits. Oh my goodness.
It's a titanium Milanese loop now, so just like the body, it's made of titanium.
Absolutely
that
stunning.
orange and black looks great together, doesn't it?
Oh God, it's too. Oh my Apple, please! Like you've just taken all of my money. So, stream looks good and works great on X. Hey, thanks Alex for the sound check there. We're just trying to figure out if Hanley's voice was working, and so it looks like it's working. Thank you so much. Not relevant in Denmark. There's no AI in Danish. Oh no. Hopefully, they will come through. I don't really see the roadmap. I think I remember them talking about China next year and then different regions like Spain and these other places.
Yeah.
So I think they're working on it, and it'd be really interesting to see how that kind of rolls through. Water resistance and this action button. Everything is, I don't know if it's Apple's product photography or the way they do things, but yeah, check this out. Battery life, 36 hours on the Apple Watch Ultra. I'm most interested, and I definitely already bought this watch, this exact watch, the black on black, and it's so gorgeous. So 36 hours of normal use, 72 hours in low power mode, up to 17 hours in outdoor workout mode and low power mode, which is awesome. And so basically, yeah, take this thing on a marathon and you just get going. Run a couple marathons if you can. And so I think features wise, it's same size, right? Like there's no size difference here in terms of like Series 1 versus 2, right? It's just, I don't think I saw anything mentioned about the screen size.
Yeah.
I think it was mostly towards the other one. And then here's like just like the biggest thing that I thought was interesting is also the announcement of the Hermes Apple Watch. So that's the one that I couldn't really find until like I had to like do some digging. So you have to go to the Apple Watch Hermes. And so what they did was they actually announced some new bands. And the bands in the Hermes configuration for the Apple Watch is only available in this like silver color. It's not available for the black color. I wanted to get myself a black version of this, but it's probably just the way that they do their branding, that they only have it exclusively for this one color and configuration, because this is the hardware that you get for it and the band, which looks really beautiful. And for those who are buying an Apple Watch with the Hermes, it has a custom watch face built in. So you can only get that watch face if you buy that specific Apple Watch. If you buy the band afterwards, you can't get that watch face. As I understand, I'm not sure if that's changed recently, but that's how it was before, and I think it's kind of maybe continuing to do that. So, and they also have a coming soon, a refined Grand H band, and so this is like a nice, beautiful chain link watch band, and this is for the Series 10 one. It's just so stunning and so gorgeous. I like the Hermes series. I'm not a like Hermes person. Like I don't have Hermes like bags. I don't have like any actually. Only thing I have at Hermes are like Hermes watch bands. And
Have you tried this rubber watch band they have? I was looking at it last year. I never got a chance to try it, but
they actually sell this in the store. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have an orange one as well too.
Oh,
Because the orange band that came with the Apple Watch Ultra, the I forgot what it was called. Was it Mountain or something?
okay.
But the Alpine Loop. That's what it
Oh
was.
yeah, Alpine Loop. Yeah.
Mine actually frayed and stretched, so I was pretty disappointed with that one. But I
man.
like the color,
Yes.
so I was interested in the Hermes orange one.
Yes. These are, and I like these cool like cloth like bands. So for the smaller one, they have this double loop type of thing going on, and then for the bigger one, they have this. The photography, the way that they do everything just looks absolutely stunning. And it's, it's going to cost you a pretty penny. But I mean, if you're using Apple products, I feel like that's a whole nother niche of people who use them.
But the Hermes is a whole nother level, right? So
It kind of
the
is.
bands
Yeah.
cost almost as much as the watch.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, if you have just money and yeah. So I don't know. I'm just so in love with this, and I got this because not this specific Hermes one. I actually got the regular Apple Watch Ultra 2 with the black, and then got the Hermes band too on top of that because I wanted to.
Looks slick.
Every second updates. Oh my gosh, that's going to be interesting because it's just going to feel super slick and super real when you're scrolling through. So yeah, that's basically Apple Watch Ultra. And that's right, a speaker as well. So they redesigned the speaker, and I think on the new Apple Watches you can play audio through it, right? Like you can play music while you're running.
Interesting. I couldn't do that before.
No, you couldn't play. The speakers aren't built enough for like that or something like that. So
Gotcha.
I think so. I could be wrong, but that's basically kind of the way it went down.
There you go.
Yeah, so they have this whole, wide angle display, jet black, water temperature, carbon neutral. Yeah, speaker playback. This is huge. That's like the thing where you can actually play songs and listen to it.
Oh, so does the Apple Watch Ultra not have a speaker, or
It has speakers, but it doesn't play
it has a
back.
speaker?
None of them play back.
Gotcha.
Like you can't play back audio. Like you can't go to like iTunes or Spotify and play a
I
song.
see.
And so
I see.
to me, I think this is going to be a really, really big deal for like kids. You know how you were talking about instead of buying the kids an iPhone, I could see parents just buying these and saying, hey, I don't want you to really go on social media, but I just want you to have a phone with you so I can call
I
you.
want you at my fingertips, right? I want to walkie-talkie you whenever
Yes.
I want.
Yeah. Well, for the kids too, they can, at least their friends, they can have conversations and texts and do stuff and even play music now, right? Like without headphones, they can play music in their room and just kind of chill. Like that's pretty awesome. And it has all these other features. And the price point for an Apple Watch was $399, right? Am I not like if you want to just get it, not the Ultra, if you just go to Apple Watch and you just go to Series 10, just to buy this thing straight up is $399. That's no cellular, but just, just getting started. I think that's a really, really cool deal. And it's an amazing price point for these kids that are like considering, or if your family, and if you are, obviously wealthy enough to afford these products, but as a like a really great alternative to get into to have everything in the Apple ecosystem, I think that's a really, great deal. And, this is all from a perspective because just to give people a heads up, like we're totally Apple fanboys and, we like Apple products a lot. And a lot of times that, we're pretty much like speaking specifically to the choir of people who like Apple products or who are enthusiasts about Apple products. I used to work there for 12 plus years. Hanley used to work there, for a couple of years.
I worked there for 2.5 years, mostly during the pandemic. Software engineering manager, AR/VR experiences, some really cool stuff. And it was just a pleasure to get a chance to work inside and see Apple from the inside. Definitely something that will stick with me the rest of my life.
Yeah, so it's just amazing to do these things, and so naturally you get to interact with people, and I have a lot of friends who have Apple products, and I feel like they always ask me like, "Hey, so are you going to buy the new thing, or what's the new thing?" So I feel like this is kind of my stream for them and for you, and just kind of getting people caught up a little bit of just me going through it and talking through what I'm looking at, what's exciting for me. And some of my friends and family who have these Apple products and they're thinking about maybe upgrading, or do they want to get one for their kids? And I think this is like, to me, the Apple Watch 10 is a no-brainer for a kid just to get one. Like if they have no phone, just to do that and take advantage of those features. So up next was the AirPods 4 redesign. So this was interesting, right? So they have these AirPods and they have, like, I'll let you talk a little bit about this while I kind of get this pulled up a little bit, because there's quite a bit in the AirPods category that happened here, right?
Yeah, I look at my notes and I see the first thing they talked about so it seems like they updated the shape. They scanned thousands of years and they've kind of remodeled the shape to fit a little bit better, better sound, and then personalized spatial audio. There's a big push across the board on all the products to keep pushing spatial audio, right? That's really exciting for someone who worked on in the Vision Pro space, and I'm an AR/VR developer person. Spatial 3D spatial audio is really big for us, so it's really cool to see that starting to be pushed across to all the products. Another big feature that was really interesting was they added the nod or shake your head to accept or reject.
That's
So
cool.
you see Apple is getting more and more into these motion controls. Again, that's something that's dominant in the AR VR space, but you're starting to see some of that functionality seep across the product line.
Oh, that's right. And it charges fast. That's if you put the AirPods back into the case, I know they charge fairly quickly, like 50%, like 20 minutes or something like that. But this is really cool. Up to 30 hours of listening time in the case, 5 hours listening time on a single charge. Perfect for a trip, even a flight across America, from New York to California or from California to Hawaii. You're pretty much locked in.
This is gonna be a big Christmas stocking stuffer, right?
Yeah, I mean, starting at what, 149, right? For the price and stuff?
129.
Oh, 120. Let's go. Let's go. Discount. Let's go. Oh my goodness. Oh, this
With
is
sales, it might get under 100, right? Like depending on your timing.
yeah. So here they actually have it displayed here. So AirPods 4, the
There
next
you go.
evolution of sound, 129. And then you have the noise cancellation ones for 179. So you can choose between the two. So if you're just kind of don't care about noise cancellation and just want to have whatever, you just go this guy, the cheapest route, 129. Pay a little bit extra, you get the 179 thing, and then you get that stuff. So that includes active noise cancellation, and then you still have the same beautiful H2 chip, and then you have 4 hours of active noise cancellation. So that's
I mean,
yeah.
my opinion is you really should get the noise canceling version if you can, of course, budget wise, but because the key feature for me is the transparency mode, because all of us like to wear our ear sets like all day long and out and about on the streets, and you really need that transparency mode to be safe and aware of your surrounding. So definitely, if you can get that, get that.
That's a good point. And speaking of AirPods, so they also updated the AirPods Max, but they didn't really do a major full on upgrade.
Yeah.
So as we can see here, it still has the H1 chip. What do you think?
Yeah.
So
I
all
mean,
they did was change it.
I like
Yeah.
the orange.
Yeah.
That's tempting me to go ahead and get this finally. I'm surprised by how popular AirPods Max are right now. Like,
Facts.
it
At the
seems like they were a little
gym.
bit of a slow to get going. Like when they came out, they weren't that popular, but you see them all. Everyone's got them now. It's crazy.
Yeah. They don't have like conversational awareness because that's a part of the H2 chip. And they don't have
Hmm.
like some of these other hearing test and hearing aid features like the AirPods Pro features have. They do have a beastly amount of battery life, 20 hours. That's just
Yeah,
so amazing because it's basically just one giant battery.
and they still got the case.
Yeah, they still have the
You
bra
see the
case.
icon right there.
Yeah. And so, yeah, adaptive audio. And so to me, I feel like the best bang for the buck is like if you're going to spend some money and really go in on it, I feel like AirPods for me, AirPods 2 Pro, I think I already have these.
Yeah.
um, is like the best because you already have all the features and then you have like it's different from the AirPods Max. But yeah, AirPods Max is like almost like a fashion statement too. I see people working out with them at the gym, and to me, they don't have a lot of
That's insane.
yeah,
They're so heavy, right? Like,
yeah,
that doesn't
they're
make any sense to
heavy.
me.
They don't have a lot of breathability, but I think
Yeah.
the joyful part is the fact that it covers your entire ear area. So some people have irregular ears, and the AirPods design doesn't necessarily work for them. So they feel that okay, so the AirPods Max could be a good thing, and
I
it
mean,
just looks cool.
for a lot of people, the gym is such a selfie opportunity as well too. They might just like the color pop.
Yeah, I mean, if you have already spent a bunch of money, like why buy extra stuff, just to have it? And so I could see that reasoning. And if your parents say, "I'm only going to buy you one," which one do you buy? I think you're going to go the one with the biggest battery life. You can wear it at school all day. You can do everything. Like, yeah.
On the AirPods Pro, one feature that was really cool that was announced this year that I think is just so awesome is we don't know the details yet, but they said there's some hearing aid functionality. So it's
Oh,
actually
right.
like, that's probably some certification they had to get, right, to be able to call it that or something.
I think yeah,
But like,
they are going through that. Yeah.
but like that's something I've been talking to friends about for years. That like AirPods, everyone wears AirPods so much and wears them all day long that they not only have the opportunity to help you listen to your audio phone, but they can actually give you superhuman powers, right? Or people that are hard of hearing, it can improve your hearing. So I just love that feature, and I'm excited to try it out. I just feel like we're moving closer and closer to what I mentioned this to you earlier, the Apple cyborg suit concept, right? Apple has been
Please tell us more.
investing in the yeah, Apple's been investing in the wearables space, and it's the world leader in like these micro wearable electronics. I guess the skill set they've been building up is, of course, the miniaturization of technology, but also they're really into all the materials. And Apple's the best at how these electronics feel. And with
Mm,
wearables, they're touching your skin, they're on your body all
mm.
day long. So you really have to marry both the technology as well as the fashion and the comfort aspect as well too. So
I
super
like the
excited about
cyborg
that
idea.
hearing aid feature.
That's
Yeah,
hilarious. Yeah, I think that's really an interesting take because today, many
check it
people may
out.
not realize that in your settings on your iPhone, you can actually tell the iPhone to do in this like pass through mode. So what you can do is put your AirPods in, put your phone closer to the TV, closer to a family member who's talking maybe on the other side of the room, and then you can hear them a lot clearer. And so I always recommend this for my friends who are aging
Oh.
and say, hey, if you're, just if you wear these and the TV you're listening to, you don't hear it that well, just put your iPhone and I show them in the settings kind of where to go and enable this. But your current AirPods can do this today. It's like it's actually one of the accessibility features, which is really amazing. And so that is already
I,
available today.
I wish I had it here with me. I should have prepared this, but I bought a pair of Anchor earphones, and like the marketing says, it's just as good as AirPods.
Mm,
I was reading the comments on the BBS, the bulletin boards, and they said they were awesome. And then I bought them, and the transparency mode was so inferior to AirPods that I just don't use them, right? So
Yes.
sometimes you have to buy another brand to appreciate um, Apple's quality.
I'm always blown away with the way Apple decides to just go in on something and then they
Yeah,
say if they could do it and do it very well. And now they have like this, cracked health team, right? So the health team has been there and they're pushing on things that they can push on. And obviously their, health is a big deal and the aging population that is growing and that they also use iPhones. And I think this is extremely smart.
yeah.
But also if you see this lady, right? Like she's wearing it, she probably doesn't look like if you
You
see her
don't
with there's like something weird that sometimes people choose not to wear hearing aids because they just don't like the way they
stigma.
looked.
Yeah,
And if you wear
yeah.
glasses, some people have that similar stigma. So now you can sort of low key look cool. People just think you're listening to music, but you're actually using it as a
You're just a
hearing aid.
hipster.
I mean, dude, to me, it really tugs on my heart emotionally because I feel like, hey, this is something, a technology that's actually encouraging monitoring and changing people's
Yeah,
lives. And so when you talk about these little devices that change people's lives, Apple's really embedded it into the personal device culture and they have such a good ecosystem for all this stuff. And this is one of the things where a company that's that big can accelerate, get through the health certifications and use that, big paying,
yeah.
like that big war chest that they have to make people's lives better. And I think that's really cool. So it's like they're very specific about the things that they can do. And that if they can do them, they make sure that they do them completely right. And
Yeah.
what's nice is they're not going to turn around and, I trust that Apple's not going to turn around and sell like your health data to anyone. Everything's extremely private. Everything's locked down. It's like not exposed to a third party. So, you're not giving it
Yes,
away.
it's even less susceptible to Apple being hacked and leaking because all this personal information they don't even store and encrypt it on iCloud, right? Like they can't even see the data,
Exactly.
supposedly.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's definitely true
If they
as
want
far
to.
as their security white papers for Apple has actually
Yeah.
released security white papers detailing in very good detail how their AI systems are working and going to be working in the future.
Yep.
As far as like what's happening on device, there's like a secure boot, secure enclave. There's a whole secure boot system that the devices do. So the fact that even just turning on the device, you just try to study. You can spend a whole like year at a university trying to understand how an Apple device turns on. There's an extreme amount of complexity that happens literally from like the factory process all the way down into like what gets sealed into the chips. And so
Yeah.
there's security white papers like 200 something pages, and it just touches a little bit of what's going on. And so I think that's how serious this company has been doing this for a long time. Obviously, it's not their first rodeo. So yeah, I think this is a really good point.
Last bit on the hearing. It's actually very personal for me because
Ah,
one of my ears hears less well than the other ear.
mm.
So like sometimes when I'm fast food restaurants, I have to kind of lean in. When I'm at Starbucks and when I'm trying to listen to the cashier, I have to lean in a little bit,
Oh, that's a
especially in
bummer,
a
man.
noisy environment. And I've
Yikes.
never got. I'm one of these people these 80% of people, whatever they talked about, that have never
Oh,
gotten their hearing checked, right?
oh, that's
So I
interesting.
think there are gonna be a lot of people like me that are suddenly going to realize that you could use some medical help with your hearing. A little bit scary to hear, but
Yeah.
in the end, this stuff's always better to find out earlier, right?
True. Unity Eagle says, I had expected they would come in different colors or at least black ones. You
Mm,
know what? Stay tuned for the next 2 years or just think about how long it takes for them to change a color once people like actually like them. But I think there's like different skins that people have for these types of things for I think the AirPods. But yeah, that'd be really cool. All black everything AirPods to go with your Apple Watch, to go with your MacBook Pro, black. Yeah, that'd be so cool. And
I
so,
will say, like black, like earphones. One thing that's not as good is that those show like your bio leftovers a little bit more than the white ones.
oh,
So
I never
maybe
thought
that's
about
why.
that. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, like what black will show versus that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really interesting observation. So yeah, like the AirPods Max also got some new colors, and that's basically it with
Yep.
USB-C. Still using the old H1 chip. I think there's much to update here. It still has the same great battery life of like 30 plus hours.
Yeah, that orange is hot. I might have to get myself one of these.
Yeah. So then next is the iPhone 16 with the new button.
Here we go.
So
The
this
iPhone.
was like the big thing that people were kind of waiting and hearing about. So the basically new colors, as you can see here, all the new colors, the action button, which is pretty fun. They can do multiple things, and the action button can
I
now.
think I think this is the first time they've got this really saturated pink, right? In the past, when they did pink, they were like very like light pink. So it'll
Yes.
be interesting to see how this does. I think a lot of people are gonna like that.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to our designer friends and ask them about the high fashion and like what's the trend for colors, because I'm pretty sure this always falls into those types of trendy colors. Speaking of pink, you have that same pink background as you.
Electronics color theory.
Yeah. Like you're trending too, because you have that pink in the background for your
Yeah.
lights. Yeah, so there's a new 3 nanometer A18 chip. So they skipped from A16 and went straight up to 18. So that they have that. So 2x faster neural engine, but they didn't really talk much about memory and neural engine access. They just said that it's there. The camera control has a capacitive touch sensor there. And so that long rehashing of Apple Intelligence is going to be awkward if the iPhone launches with iOS 18 and not 8.1. With none of those features out of the box. So yeah, that was an interesting take by Marquez. But one of the greatest features I saw was really cool is that camera control button. You can just whip it out and press the side button, and then it basically does like a quick search, similar to like what Amazon search or Google search or these types of things. And to me, I feel like I wanted to just make a GPT app, some type of app that would use this, but this is already built into the iPhone. So game over.
Yeah, we should go into this for sure, right? Like this is huge. I mean, I think I talked to you about this a little bit earlier, but me and all my coworkers, I'm also co-founding a AI startup. When we saw the multimodal demos where you can be looking at something, I think a Meta Ray-Ban glasses just activated this recently. Zuckerberg showed this last year. We built a demo with our MacBooks where we used the MacBook webcam, and we were just carrying it around the city. And when you would talk, it would trigger a snapshot of the web shot and send that all up to OpenAI APIs. Yeah, that's the best demo I'd seen in technology since the original iPhone. So
Wow.
this is just a killer feature. And Apple adding this to iPhones, instantly 1 billion people are going to start using this functionality. So this is not talked about enough, how world-changing this is.
Yeah, that's going to be super cool. Obviously, even more durable design with this specific case the actual glass that they have going on it, and then the different privacy modes, obviously. And so they have iPhone 16 Pro, iPhone 16, and so you can see that the new colorways and like some of the
blue, how much that popped, like blue, lavender, whatever that is.
and they also have a
color.
case in this as well. So iPhone 16, it's always so dramatic. Oh, this is so gorgeous.
It's interesting. They worked. They worked hard at this to get that super saturation just within the camera area. Like that's definitely like the new look they tried to do this year to make it stand out.
Oh, I see. Yeah, in this section here. Yeah. So this starts at $799, and it's going to be coming this fall. So you can pre-order it basically at 5 a.m. on Friday the 13th, my friend. So wake up at 5 a.m., I think Pacific Standard Time, and you should be able to get yourself one. And so this is part of the features is that side button that we're talking about that has that camera control.
Yeah.
So within that, you can slide your finger, and it's a really cool sensor design because it kind of works in a couple of ways. You can press really hard, and it gives you a taptic feedback. And then you could also slide your finger across kind of like a trackpad. And so it has that type of feature then. I imagine they've learned so much with the previous trackpads.
They also mentioned the light touch to do like focus lock, just like a normal camera, I guess. It says coming out later, so they kind of mentioned it at the end. But
I see.
I think a lot of like camera nerds are going to enjoy that feature.
Ah, interesting. And then the ultra-wide camera, like with the macros, is just stunning.
Yeah, 48 megapixel finally on the ultra wide.
Let's go.
Better light sensitivity.
So
Yeah,
tech
huge.
specs, let's look at the tech specs for the iPhone 16. And so it starts at 128 gigabytes. There's a rumor that they were going to start a little bit higher, I think, right? And bump the price, but this is kind of what they ended up at. Also bigger screens is what I remember, right? From compared to before.
I think it's the same as last year.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's probably for the Pro
6.1 and
size.
6.7.
Yeah. And so I don't think, let's see here. So yeah, the thing I saw to me was like the photography was just really interesting. And they also added a note because the cameras are sideways. basically what it does is it lets you take spatial click to turn and explore the iPhone. So we can actually play around with one of the models here on the actual website. And so you can kind of see this little side button thing, and we just kind of spin it to the side, and you see this is the side button to turn Siri on and off and turn it to the sleep wake. And then this is that little touch thing here. And if we go to your favorite color, this it's almost like a purpley type of hue as well. It's got some like purple in it.
Yeah.
It looks really good. And so then we go to the bigger size. Oof. Oh, looks so good. I like this. Man, this is hot. Yeah. You could just play around with a 3D model on the website. I think that's so nice. Yeah, so that'd be really interesting. Have you played around with the new iOS 18 beta?
I have, yes. I've been using the writing tools.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty much all there is to use, right? In terms of AI, is the writing tools, right? There's no generative emojis yet.
No.
And then I think the photo playground is not available yet either. And those are the three major features. I guess Siri being able to trigger different actions, but it's hard to tell when that's like the new AI and when that's like
I see.
just Siri working
Yes.
because there's no like special UI for it, right? Whereas writing tools, it's a distinct UI that you use.
Yeah, I think the other feature I like a lot that but most people don't know is that like when you take a phone call, there's now a little button at the top that lets you record the phone call, and it'll say this call is being recorded, and so that's super
Haven't tried
handy.
that yet.
Oh, it's so great, especially when talking to doctors or someone's calling and like you're driving and you can't take notes. Literally just hit the record button, and then what's great is after the call, it'll save it into the notes. So in notes, you can
What's
go
the
back.
warning that it gives to the other side?
Like the legal saying, like, "Hey, this call is being recorded and monitored," whatever. Like the thing is just, and then that's
Siri
it.
voice. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so that way both parties are know, and that's recorded. And then it in the notes section, it does like a summary, and it's like literally your own
Yeah.
version of ChatGPT transcriptions built into notes, built into the phone. Huge, huge, huge.
That's one thing I've been trying to evangelize that Apple work on is with the summarization technology and the writing tools. I feel like it's super aggressive about summarizing way down to a certain number of characters, but then a lot of times it loses a lot of the key points because it's summarizing way down. I feel like they need a little bit of control over like, do I just want the short, Twitter style summary, or do I want like as short as possible but keep all the main points?
That's right.
Because I'm using it to read articles, right? And it's just over summarizing.
Yeah.
I missed too many of the key points.
It's interesting. Yeah, I also find that one thing is also the security part of it. So basically, their Apple Intelligence stuff, they do extremely like thorough job to make sure that they're not going to sell or send your data somewhere else, and they have a whole Apple Intelligence privacy thing that is in there, so that they kind of talk about. So with great Zoom comes great responsibility. I think this is probably the coolest thing that's going to be for me, the camera, since it's so huge. And so am I understanding this correctly? But you can take a video and then later change the frame rates from like 120 seconds. Is that all, or is that just on the Pro one?
I thought that was the filtering. That was about the filtering. I don't know if it was the frame rate. Maybe I might have missed that.
Okay.
I might have been busy taking notes.
Oh, yeah. So the ultra wide images are here. This is a macro shot, and this is like ultra wide. So good.
Is the 2 times just a punch in of the 48 megapixels down to like a 12 megapixel?
They say it's a
Or is
48
it-
megapixel fusion. So that would make sense.
Is that actually like an optical? Are they 2 times or something? It's a fusion, so it's because they can combine the 2 cameras that they can do that now, where they couldn't do that before because there's only a single camera on the low end phone.
Yeah, I think I'm not exactly sure. It would be really interesting to find out to see what the inside baseball is here, and if they're using that same technique that they're using on the other models. I imagine it's the same technique because they don't, who wants to rewrite software. It looks like we lost our X folks, so people who are streaming on X. It looks like there was an error there. So we're just currently live on YouTube and Twitch, just for FYI. So feel free to drop comments.
Come back, X folks.
Come back, yeah. I wish I can reconnect the stream to that, because that would be pretty cool to just be able to reconnect the stream. But that's okay. So we're just going to continue on because I love my YouTube peoples, and what's nice about this is that people on X end up coming back anyways to YouTube to go watch the rest of it. So this is another mode that they also have for like the cinematic thing. So you can choose your photography style. So after you take the photo, you can already kind of do this today with the iPhone, but I feel like they have like more. They're using more of the generative and machine learning stuff to help improve the images, and they actually show.
So that was cool. I thought that pad was really cool actually. So now you scroll back up,
Yeah. Oh, here.
right
Yes.
there. Yeah. So you can
That's a
hold down on the filter button, and then you can tone and contrast. I think it's tone and contrast is the two axes. What does it
yes.
say on the left?
Oh, here
So
it just says tone, color, and palette.
yeah. Well, anyways, whatever.
Yes.
it's just more control, right? This is stuff that like camera,
Yeah, that's
like
a great
folks will
point.
geek out about.
Yeah, the user interface is really nice, and I actually really like that a lot.
Yeah.
Like that's like you say, it's a really genius idea for them to put that little square there to expose it. So yeah, let's see here. Compare. Oh yeah. So like, hmm, that's interesting. So if you have the iPhone 15 Plus, basically this is a huge upgrade. 30% faster,
Yeah.
40% faster. Because you're going from A16 to basically A18, right? So
Yeah.
that would make sense. And then I think the other big thing was the iPhone Pro. So this is the new bronze color. And what's amazing is that if you look at the very bottom, you could probably see Craig Federighi's hair down here. Like he's like, it's
Oh
right.
no way.
Yeah, I could see him a
Air
mile
Force
away.
One right there.
Yeah, yeah. That's like Craig Federighi sitting here watching with the rest of the executive team, and like his hair is like glowing from the exact iPhone event here. So that I think that's really funny that Marquez Brownlee was able to capture this in the actual keynote thing. So that
It's
was
so funny
yeah,
because his hair is so like tall and poofy that it's got a nice it diffuses the light nicely going through it.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So that's really interesting here. So yeah, so basically iPhone 16 Pro, you get the larger phones, obviously 6.9, 6.3 inch, larger batteries as well. The new titanium color, faster 18 Pro chip, right? 48 megapixel ultra wide on the camera, and then
As
4K.
a gamer, they're adding new cooling technology to these phones this year. Finally, to improve the sustained performance. That's something that people don't talk about much because usually when you do benchmarks, you don't you just benchmark for a few minutes. But for us gamers playing games like Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and some of the new AAA games, we need to maintain frame rate for like an hour because we're on these games for an hour. And right now, a lot of these games, they start slowing down after like 20, 30 minutes,
Really?
especially if you're outside under the hot sun.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. So you're saying that if you have a phone and even if you have it
Yeah.
plugged into power, because it gets too hot, it'll throttle and then
Yeah.
it'll just basically your frame rates kind of drop?
Yep. Very, very, very quickly on the higher end games. Especially if you turn on a lot of these games have features now, so you can turn on higher
Mm,
frame rate, like 60 frames per second,
yeah.
and more graphics powers.
Hmm.
Then like a lot of nerds, we like to turn it just because we like the power of these phones, right?
I
We like to
agree.
feel that power. But then
S-
like you can't have your game slowing down, so you end up turning them off. But
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
So
so hopefully
yeah.
we'll be able to run them at higher. They also higher power also drains your battery faster too, right?
Yeah.
so
Yeah, because
so
I
you
mean,
end up like
imagine the heat that you
yeah
generate off this thing. So yeah,
yeah.
so basically with this Pro model, wow, it just looks so
And
good.
most people don't realize, but like the temperature of the environment that you're in massively affects the ability of your phone to run at the high end of it. Like if you're outside on a sunny day, your phone has a really hard time cooling down, so you get that screen dimming really really quickly.
Wow, wow. So 4K, 120 frames per second, they're showing there with Adobe Vision, 4 studio quality mics, a Pro Studio in your pocket. And is this where you can change it as well?
This is fascinating. This is they have these new functionality where you could change the audio filtering, the AI audio filtering. I don't know if it's on the fly or after the fact. You gotta understand it, but like you can say like you want more of a studio vibe, so the person speaking into the phone gets that really boomy, echoey, kind of like Ray's professional sound. Or you could have something that feels where he picks up more of the environment. I mean, this is like a whole new thing. No one's ever like played with features like this before on a consumer, on an iPhone at least. I'm not sure about other phones, but this is definitely gonna bring a whole lot of new knowledge to people about audio.
That is absolutely bonkers. And like, I'm here for it, if you know what I mean. So like they also
Yeah,
have like the
I
thinner
I,
borders as well. Yeah.
I never would have understood all these audio challenges until I started doing YouTube. Right. Before when you're just a consumer, you just record and audio is whatever. But with YouTube, it's so important that you start to learn about how hard all this stuff is. So
That's right.
Apple is bringing more of that knowledge to the world.
totally amazing. Yeah. So 18 Pro chips, obviously, battery life, game on, like you're saying. And then this is kind of like a closer look with the new gold. And then also the bigger size too, if you're thinking about the bigger size. And this is gonna be my phone. I already got the cases for it and stuff. And so that's gonna be amazing. So titanium, they just do such an amazing job with these animations. This is on their website. I'm just literally scrolling on their website. It just looks so good. And so, yeah, largest iPhone ever, obviously, premium grade 5 titanium. I don't even know about the titanium grades. And so it would be really interesting to know a little bit more about that. So what are the titanium grades that they have, and like what their like significances are as far as like hardness? So they say basically the ceramic shield also is 2 times tougher than any smartphone glass. So I imagine that's from the previous one as well. So like
Yeah, the modern glass is so amazing. It's just like I've dropped my phone like 10 times at least this last year, and it hasn't broken yet. It's just I'm just so amazed by how good modern Gorilla Glass is. This Gorilla
yeah.
Glass,
Oh, they call it like ceramic glass. So
ceramic,
yeah, ceramic shield,
What do they call it? Ceramic
shield
shield. Yeah.
material. Yeah. So like Mohs, let me do perplexity. So what's the Mohs hardness for Apple's MOHS hardness for Apple devices? So what's interesting is that so Mohs is basically a hardness scale, and what that does is that like if you have a diamond, that's like the hardest material you have on Earth, and the only thing that can scratch a diamond is actually another diamond. So in order for you to actually make diamonds, you have to use diamonds to cut the diamonds. It's kind of meta, but it's kind of what it is. So if you have like something like metal, it's not going to scratch the diamond. So that's what's really cool about some of these types of materials. And so with the Apple's products, especially like the ceramic shield or the sapphire displays, their Mohs scale is extremely high. So I usually, people who have screen protectors on their phone, I always tell them, take that thing off, because you literally have you're literally putting something on that has less of a hardness than the actual device that's underneath. And so you can take a key and like scratch the surface of your screen, and it's not going to scratch your phone's display, like unless you have something else.
I use a glass protector, and I've been wondering, do I actually still need it or not? I
No,
think does it help with the shatterproofing?
not at all, because
Like it
it's
can
going to shatter.
absorb some of
It's actually kind of
pain.
fake. It's actually a scam, because when you drop it, all the impact is happening on the physical device. So you're cracking the weakest thing, and that's the weakest thing. And so it's giving the illusion
it's doing something because it's like a cheaper glass,
Yeah.
and it breaks, but the glass underneath doesn't break. You
No.
go, oh, I just saved my screen.
Exactly. Yeah, that's like saying, if I put a piece of paper on my arm and I slam my arm on the floor, it's, the paper broke, right? Like, but your arm is, still okay. You may have some bruises and stuff, but like, like the paper did its job. Did the paper do its job, protecting your arm? You can argue a lot of things. Sure, it saved your skin. But like there's no skin material. It's just literally ceramic on your phone. So it's just a FYI pro tip for.
Okay, I'm taking this off.
Yeah, literally take it. I mean, you're just gonna get your display back. I think. Well, I think it's sort of like a good PSA for people to understand, because I also wanted to understand what this like. So the ceramic shield glass still scratches at level 6 on the Mohs hardness scale, with deeper grooves at a level 7. So that's similar to previous iPhone models. And so I'm wondering what their Mohs hardness scale is going to be for the latest version. So I'm pretty sure somebody will have a test on that, and we'll be able to kind of learn a little bit more about how scratch proof that will be. So the iPhone 12 understood a 6-point test, and then 7 with some faint scratches and stuff. So just FYI. And there's these people on YouTube that obviously do these different types of tests. So just a heads up there. I like geeking out on these types of things. So AI with possibilities. I think that's coming later this year. Yes, we were just talking about that. And then the camera is like the biggest feature, I feel like, that's here. That's been super duper amazing. So you can switch between the camera modes literally just by sliding back and forth, right?
Yeah, it looks like you can double tap to trigger this menu, I think, and then you can pick which thing you want the slide to control. And you'll have options like the zoom, the lens, the exposure, whatever, the portrait mode, the depth of field, right? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how useful. Obviously, they've tested the hell out of this, right? So people must have really enjoyed the experience for them to release this feature.
Yeah. I think that's going to be pretty big as far as just, grabbing your pocket, and also something new to learn. But once you get the hang of it, I feel like it'd be pretty awesome. And then this 4K 120 frames per second, I think is just going to be pretty mind blowing to record. And like you're saying, with being able to mix the audio between, whether you're in frame, studio, and kind of how you do that type of thing. It's just amazing how much information is picked up, and they were actually able to film The Weeknd's music video using the iPhone 16 Pro.
That
if
was
you
a
can believe
good
that.
video.
Yeah, this looks like a small rig device that's kind of attached to it with the little handles and stuff for like actual video. Yeah, dang, that's so gorgeous. Oh,
Look at that color.
Yeah. The color is fantastic, and the iPhone already takes amazing photos, and now you can shoot 120 millimeters with a 5x telephoto camera.
Okay.
Yeah. So like that's a really like this is the zoom. So like this is the normal like 24 millimeter. And when you go to the here, it looks so good. And you could even see the compression that happens. So this mountain looks nice and big on her, where over here it kind of looks small in scale. So that's kind of the nice things that you get about these like cameras. Obviously the macro, the details are really, really gorgeous. So I like that they've done this. They're kind of showing you a little bit of how the zooms look between the different like 1.5x, 2x, and then the 5x telephoto. Looks so good. Looks so good. Obviously, this is in really good lighting conditions, but even in low lighting, it looks really good. And, I've been able to shoot stuff basically, 0.75 miles away across the ocean and to like a little island, and you have that type of really nice look and stuff as well. So, just a stunning job. And you can pre-order yours today. Are you getting one?
I kind of don't want to because I got XS 12, 13, 14, 15, and I kind of want to take a break, but there's definitely enough here that I'm probably gonna buy one.
I see.
I think I'm gonna buy one, and I have to buy one for my girlfriend too. So
you got to do it for the gram, bro. You got to do it for the gram. It's going to be really expensive. Yeah, not to mention Apple's like computers that will possibly be released and stuff, which would be really
plus.
Yeah.
I'm a travel. I like travel photography, so I do use the ultra wide quite a lot, and I've definitely been running up against the shortcomings, not the shortcomings, but the limits of the 12 megapixel ultra wide. Definitely, it's a little bit grainy, and then also its low light has been pretty weak. So it sounds like that's definitely improved on this one. So it's probably worth it just for that even.
Yeah, I'd say take a look. Yeah, so far I basically have the Apple Watch 2 Ultra, which is the black one that's on order. It will be arriving, and the AirPods Max. I thought about ordering it, but the fact that they still have the H1 chips kind of put me off.
Yeah.
So I actually gave away my first series of the AirPods Max because I don't really have many of these like lightning. This is only the only cable I have of like lightning that's still left, like RIP lightning. Yep. And the only reason why I have this is literally to charge my trackpad and to charge my actual keyboard. And so that's the only reason why I have a lightning cable. And it was also to charge my AirPods Max, but I actually gave it away on a live stream. So I tend to do that. I just give away my old stuff because somebody else can find a lot more joy in it than I have. And
I carry when I travel, I carry like 4 to 8 cables.
Yes.
In my bag, and the ratio from like lightning to USB, I'm down to 1 lightning cable that I carry with me now because I need it so little.
That's amazing.
But I still have to have that one, right? That one's not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, the AirPods.
Not next year, probably.
Yeah, because I used to travel a lot with the big cans, the AirPods Max, but then that just became too clunky. And I basically
they don't
just
fold or collapse either, right? So
they're nice, but
a lot of space.
And then sometimes I'll rock a Vision Pro for travel and just have the other things. So, priorities and stuff. So like that's just the kind of Apple ecosystem. So yeah, that's just a little bit of summary of kind of what was announced. What I'm excited about. Definitely on Friday. I'm gonna wake up 5 a.m. and order the phone, and then I'm gonna have a live stream again next week on Friday, so the 20th of September, to unbox the Apple Watch and actually show y'all what's going on. So definitely stay tuned for that.
Cool.
But yeah, just for those who don't know, my name is Ray Fernando. I used to be an engineer at Apple for 12 years or so. And now I'm just currently on my own, exploring AI and actually spend a lot of time doing some code streaming. So a lot of what I do is also I'm a tech enthusiast and I love playing around with new tech. I love Apple products. So if you've been joining me on this journey, this is sort of something I like to do is like get my friends on to talk about some of the latest stuff that's been happening. I also have some interviews that are going to be dropping in the coming weeks. So I have one that's going to be dropping about how to use generative AI and like actually how to make a character and then put some clothes on it. So it's a really mind-blowing one. You don't have to use Photoshop now. You can do it all in a span of like less than 20 minutes. And so I sit down with my friend Halim, and he walks through the phases, and it's actually much easier than I was expecting.
That's awesome.
Because Midjourney is now
That's
available through the web.
at Vid Summit last week, I forgot which speaker, but one of the big speakers was saying that you have to make a digital version of a digital me. You need to do that ASAP as a creator, just because
Interesting.
the technology is so awesome, and you have to start learning that because that's how you're going to scale out your content and your presence and your influence in the future. Is your digital me is going to take over some of the work.
That's interesting. Or like you can have a conversation with your digital character, have fun. That's an interesting concept. I like the idea. I'd like to see it more in reality to see how that looks like. And I think there's just a lot of direction that this can go in. So one of the things that we did, which is really cool, and that you'll get to see in the live stream that or the recording of the interview, was the fact that we're able to get like a Birkin bag, and then take like looks like a selfie, and put the selfie with you in the Birkin bag. And so now any companies that like Hermes that have these exclusive drops that only are like given to celebrities, you can literally take that bag from that celebrity and then put yourself into it like instantly. So the strategy for these companies are going to change.
I've been using Photoshop generative fill a lot, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
because of all the legality around AI right now, like they don't train on other companies' products. So you can like say I want a bag or I want a phone, but it's going to be like some random made up stuff. Kind of you're at the mercy of what it's been trained on. But
Interesting.
it sounds like when you use like the open source tools, you don't have those limitations. Some of them may end up being trained on stuff that's more usable.
Yeah, yeah. I just can't imagine the flood of stuff that's just going to start showing up online
Yeah.
with all these products. So yeah, stay tuned for that. You can find me here, and I'm trying to establish a schedule for doing some live streams that are a lot of the people who have been kind of tuning in have been more focused on coding and so forth. So yeah, tell us a little bit about you, Hanley, and tell us kind of what you're working on and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, my name's Hanley Leung. I know Ray because we actually met online, but we connected because I am an ex-Apple employee as well. I was a software engineering manager for AR VR experiences team. That was before Vision Pro was announced. And then now I am we're starting two companies. One, a AI enterprise autonomous agents company. We're still kind of in stealth, but we should be coming out of stealth sometime in the next couple months. And I'm also have this is more of a hobby, but I also have a mixed reality game studio that I'm starting with some friends. I've bought 4 Vision Pros this year
Whoa.
for my team to use. But yeah, we're really excited about spatial computing and mixed reality gaming specifically. First for Vision Pro, and then eventually for the Quest line and the other companies' mixed reality headsets that are coming as well.
That's fantastic. And so where can people find you? It's just on YouTube with the
Yeah,
at
my
Vision Pro.
main place is YouTube at Vision Pro Gaming Guy. That's me. If you want to find me on LinkedIn, that's the other place that I'm more active on too. Hanley Leung. Super easy to find on. I think I'm the only Hanley Leung in the world, so I'm the most doxable person in the world.
That's funny.
You can probably search Vision Pro Gaming Guy. It'll probably turn up too because it's in my description. But yeah, eager to meet everyone. Ray's got a really great following here. So I've been watching some of the streams. So it's been a very, very active community.
Yeah, it's really cool. So it's been amazing, and I think Apple has a lot of stuff that they just announced, and they still have some more stuff that they have yet to announce. There's all these rumors about laptops as well in the next coming month, and some updates to the operating system, especially with Vision Pro, which I'm really excited about, and the development kit. So stay tuned for more. I'm going to have some unboxing videos coming up when I get my products in as well, and I'll have some code streams lined up as well to help y'all do some coding and getting some ideas using Cursor and so forth. So thank you all for tuning in. And this has just been a really fun thing to just kind of share with my friends and share my enthusiasm for these Apple products. And cool. And until that end, anything else you need to add here at all?
No, it's really great. Hope to see everyone again.
Cool. All right, y'all. Take it easy, and we'll see you probably in the